Lee with the little chip kick again. Just saved the situation. Sean Edwards kicking it away, but Salford protesting about obstruction. But referee Russell Smith won't have anything of it. He says it's the dropout under the post. This will be interesting, Steve.
It was good play by Mark Lee there. And lucky Sean Edwards just got back there quick because it was nearly a try there.
Well picked up by Gary Jack. And well tackled by Gary Connolly. And just look at the territorial advantage there from Wigan.
Yeah, they've certainly had, well, actually it's a 64 to 36% there to Salford. Yeah, Salford's
holding down. We mentioned earlier in the match that Mr. Smith was having words with the players whilst he was officiating that they should not hold down at the tackle. There we see it, Steve.
There it is, yeah, he's Andy Platt, he's holding down. You've got to get off, you've got to make an effort to get back up off him.
And Andy Platt's possibly presented Salford's Steve Blakely with 2 points. Platt in his last season here at Wigan has signed to join the Auckland Warriors side in New Zealand when they enter the Australian tournament. Not a difficult kick, but a lot of pressure on this youngster. He's up to the pressure. And at least for all that attacking on the Wigan line, Salford can come away with some points, even if it's only the 2 points. Wigan 6, Salford 2, halfway through the first half.
So it's a good goal from Steve Blakely here. Even though it was in front, there's plenty of pressure on the kick, and he's put it straight between the posts there.
Well, down at pitch side on the Salford bench, they're feeling a little more anxious now. They felt that the team needed to get a little more composure. They needed to settle it down rather more because they're in danger of being run off the feet by Wigan in the first quarter of an hour. Andy Gregory's shoulder is okay, he shouldn't be troubled by it, but Sam Panaper is still suffering with a shoulder injury that he picked up earlier in the game.
And that 2 points will certainly put confidence into Salford. David Young now. Salford using that short side quite a lot, Steve.
They are. They did on this side before, and they've done it twice over that side there. They get to about the 60 or the 40, and they try to attack from there.
Oh, and a superb break there by Paul Farber. Has he got support? Yes, he's got Martin Burkitt, but nobody else. The quick play the ball. Phil Ford moves it across to Blakely, to Gregory. They've got Wigan on the run here now. Can Critchley get round the fire? He gets it back to Williams. And Peter Williams tries to put the ball back in play. He was desperate not to go into touch. But it'd be interesting to see here, Steve, whose ball it is.
It's a good pass from Andy Gregory there. And Peter Williams comes in there. He loses the ball, pushes it back, probably Salford's ball.
And Salford on the attack, really taking this Regal Trophy semi-final to Wigan. This big crowd here at the Willows, biggest of the season, getting behind them. And it's Gregory there, sending Burgess through. Just 8 metres now from this line. Mark Lee, back to Gregory, the former Wigan player, weaving, dummying, but losing the ball on this occasion. Well, Mr. Smith, the judging that Jack had hold of it first. Number 10, Terry O'Connor. Gregory switching it to Mark Lee. Back to Williams. But this Wigan defence holding at either corner. Mark Lee trying the kick again, but this time to no avail. It's always worth a little rubber kick over that line because there's always a scramble by the defenders, Steve, isn't there?
It is, and also if you happen to get them, even if the opposition get the ball back and you're in goal, you get the ball back with a goal line drop out.
Wigan's Andy Platt desperately trying to get Wigan away from this try line, but the tackling from Salford, absolutely fierce. Sam Panapa. Andrew Farrell. Surprising not seeing him kick. He has a huge boot on him, this 18-year-old. Edwards. Preferring the kick from Joe Lydon. Wigan players, of course, can't advance within that 10 metres until Gary Jack has hold of that ball. Gregory. Jason Critchley. Very effective tackle there by Neil Cowie. Tauro. And at the moment, this Salford pack certainly losing nothing against the Wigan Six. In fact, beginning to call the game here. Andy Burgess, Blakely. Gaining in confidence, these Salford lads.
They are, but they've had plenty of possession at the moment. They've looked dangerous a lot of times, especially Paul Forber.
Andy Gregory once again putting that kick behind. Martin of fire, unsure there as to whether he should leave it to Joe Lydon. Just dives on it at the last minute. And offside. Paul Forber doesn't like it. And Peter Williams was the man offside. Salford a little too eager there.
Yeah, he's up very quick there and to play the ball. You couldn't see if he was offside or not, but the referee must have seen him, so he was up there quick.
But of course, Wigan, the holders of this Regal trophy, used to the sort of possession that Salford have had there, haven't they, Steve? I mean, they've had 67% possession, but Wigan are used to absorbing it, aren't they?
They are, and they'll just keep plugging away until the breaks come their way.
Absorbed that pressure. Wigan immediately come out now on the attack. Sam Panapa sensibly deciding to hold on to possession there. There really was little support for him. Now the support is coming from Sean Edwards, and Panapa himself going for the post. Phil Ford's there. Good stop there by Gary Jack and Phil Ford. This is typical Wigan, out of defence to attack. Edwards going again. Well, I think Mr. Smith, again, judging a high tackle there on Sean Edwards by Phil Ford. But that was danger again for Salford.
Here's the play now. Edwards starts off there, yeah, Phil Ford's a little bit too high. I don't know if it was a dangerous tackle, but it was just too high. Sean Edwards, he's been having a great game there. He got behind the play the ball area before and offloaded to Panapa, who made the initial break. And then Sean Edwards has had another run himself straight off the next play.
He certainly took a smack around the nose there. And Wigan, well, I think that's a sign of the pressure that they've been under, electing to go for the goal and not continue the movement. And Dennis Betts, the Great Britain second row, coming on for Neil Cowie.
I don't know why that is, Ray. He doesn't appear to be injured, I think, Cowie, but I thought you may have left him on a little bit longer than that, but it's a great play to have as a replacement, Betts.
And David Fever, the Great Britain fissure, just strapping up Farrell's boot before the kick. And here we see it, Steve.
Here it is again. Sean Edwards just takes off. Phil Ford, it wasn't dangerous, but it's just too high. You've got to try to keep him down. Yeah, you don't want to give penalties away during the game, especially close to your line.
Andrew Farrell then looking to extend Wigan's lead with his second successful kick. And he does, filling in the boots of Fran Obotica, this youngster. Second goal there for Farrell and extending Wigan's lead there out to 8 points to 2. Neil Cowie doesn't like coming off, not very many players do, but it's a 15-man game these days, Steve, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and he's disappointed, but I'm sure that he'll be back in the game sooner or later. I think John probably thought they needed a fresh player at this stage and got a great player in Dennis Betts to replace him.
I think possibly, Steve, you Australian coaches tend to use your substitutes a lot more than we do over here.
Well, yeah, because as you're saying before, it's a 15-man game, and the pressure that both packs have been under, you can put a fresh player on up the middle there, and he might be able to do something for you.
Wigan already won victory here at the Willows in the Championship by 24 points to 2. So Salford, plenty to do. And Wigan themselves, of course, in top form, 8 successive wins at Cup and League. Martin Dermer continuing the movement well there from the acting half-back position. Not the best of passes, but picked up by Robinson. And what a strong boy he is. Back to Leiden. And Leiden finding a very good touch there, just 5 metres from that Salford line. I think this is one of the big advantages of this Wigan side, are the kickers in the side.
They've got plenty of kickers there, Sean Edwards, Joe Lydon, Andy Farrell. But you see Joe Lydon had plenty of time. He just took all the time that he wanted to and just found touch about 10 metres out from Salford line.
Just £4 a man difference in the packs. Gary Jack. David Young. Salford just playing through these 6 tackles with the forwards of Connor, number 10, and it's Gregory who's trying to bring these forwards on. And Wigan keeping a very careful eye on Gregory. They know him only too well. No better than that number 7 though, Sean Edwards, who had such wonderful half-back partnerships with him. Panaper, Phil Clark tending to run off Phil Panaper quite a lot. But referee Mr. Smith not very happy with that tackle again. Well, he's quite consistent, Steve, isn't he, with these high tackles?
He is, Paul Forber, as I say, it's not a dangerous tackle, but it was a high tackle, and like you say, he's been consistent, and that's all you can ask for referees, are being consistent.
And the kick putting Wigan on the attack. Kelvin Skerrett. Wigan sending these prop forwards first, and then the half-back, Andrew Farrell, who is a big man to hold out. Peter Williams did well to tackle him there. Edwards trying to spread it across now to Dennis Betts. Salford back on their line. Panaper, Edwards again. The long pass to Joe Lydon. Oh, Phil Ford did well to come in there, sensed the danger, came off the wing, took out the centre, but still the pressure on Salford. Barry John Mather recovered from his nasty back injury at Warrington last week. And Wigan electing to run the ball rather than kick it. Oh, a piece of luck there for Gary Jack. A knock on.
You see Sean Edwards running across looking for runners there. Skerrett was there in the hole, but he just couldn't control the ball.
22 minutes gone, still that 6 points difference. Peter Fox, the Bradford Northern coach, Steve, was saying to me a couple of weeks ago that Wigan were at the most dangerous when you had the ball in your own 20-metre area, that they pressured you so much.
Exactly right, because their defence moves up so quick, and they're putting pressure on you all the time. Here's a penalty here, Chris Toro. He's made a great run downfield just before that. Now Wiggins just held on to him too long there and holding down Phil Clark, and Salford get the penalty.
all even with the penalties. O'Connor. Young brought forward, making his way in the game. Ex-Barla tourist, number 10, O'Connor. Oh, and that's a good pass from Andy Gregory. It's got Peter Williams going through there to Phil Ford. Oh, Phil Ford's going for the corner. Oh, wonderful effort there from Salford. Absolutely stunned Wigan. Those youngsters are delighted. And it all came from that man, Andy Gregory. Finished off by the Welshman, Phil Ford. And what a reply back from Salford.
Here you'll see here on the replay, Andy Gregory running across, looking for runners, gives it to Peter Williams, running into a hole and showing some good pace there. He looks in to find Phil Ford on the outside there. Phil Ford steps back inside Jason Robinson there, runs to the corner, under pressure still. He still gets there, Phil Ford. It's great work to finish off there.
Yes, Gregory, the perfect pass, but Peter Williams, doesn't he do well here? Look how he slows down, he stops, he pulls the Leiden onto him. Robinson has turned his back. That's fatal to do on a wingman, and Ford's in at the corner. Wonderful effort there from the Red Devils.
They've attacked Wigan's right-hand side there a few times, Ray. Paul Foreman made a big break before, now Peter Williams. I think Gary Jack may think that there's a bit of a weakness on that side.
Well, Ford, the try scorer, but the attempted conversion from Steve Blakely failing, so Salford still trailing, but only by 2 points. 5 minutes remaining in this half.
Here it is again. You see a big hole there Peter Williams run into, and he just done so well here. Took his time, give the ball to Phil Ford, then Phil Ford caught the ball and stepped at the same time, stepped inside Jason Robinson for a great try.
And it's Phil Ford in again.
And happiness on the Salford bench, but some confusion too, because they had the substitute forward Bob Marsden warming up and running up and down the touchline for about 5 minutes. But they said the linesman couldn't attract the referee's attention. Marsden couldn't get on. He was going to replace David Young, but then when that try was scored, Salford decided to withdraw Marsden, and he's returned to the bench.
And another fine run there by Paul Forber. Forber causing havoc down that left-hand side for Salford. Andy Gregory to Burgess. Oh, and Burgess comes away in the middle. He's got Blakely with him. Wonderful tackle there by Gary Connolly, but it's all Salford at the moment. And Gregory pumping forward to Critchley. Well held up by a fire. And I think in the excitement there, they forgot that it was 6 tackles, Steve.
I think Andy Gregory did, but they showed some great play, Salford, and they keep attacking Wigan's right-hand side there. They've made a lot of ground on that side.
Kelvin Scarrett. And Wigan reverting back, I think, to type here. Using the big men to drive forward. Andrew Farrell, 17 stone, second row. Putting pressure in the middle on this Salford side, making them put the tackles in for a while. Dennis Betts, but the tackles are effective. Just 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Martin Dermott trying to launch Farrell. He does, back to Dermott. And the pass behind a fire. Little bit of a misunderstanding there between Dermott and Martin.
I think you'll see here they're just panicking a little bit. Martin Dermott threw that ball without even looking. He didn't know whether Martin was there or not. He was just hoping he was. They've got to settle down. There's still plenty of time to go. No need to panic just yet.
Almost like two dogs eyeing each other up there, Connolly and Critchley. Chris Taro. O'Connor.
Joe Lydon's got up there to help his forwards out. He's made about 3 tackles in a row, Joe Lydon, and the forwards certainly appreciate the help they get when someone comes up there and does some work for them.
Joe Lydon just asking people to go back in defence while he's up front, and that's the reason why, because Gregory's putting the kicks forward. Robinson has gone back. And with a run like that, Robinson, he's got track to beat. He's got Connolly's outside to Martin of Fire, and surely Martin of Fire will score in the corner. He does. A try out of absolutely nothing. Begun by one wing, Jason Robinson, and finished off by the other man, Martin of Fire. That's the class of Wigan. That's what they can do, and that's why they hold this Regal trophy. His 15th of the season.
You'll see here, Jason Robinson, if you're going to kick to him, you've got to make sure you stop him. He's run straight through two players there. He looks for the support. The support's coming up now. Gary Connolly on the outside. And Gary, straight away, that's good football. He had open space, but decided to give it to a quicker man and give it straight to Martin of Fire, who scores in the corner. It was great football there. 2 minutes to go before half-time too, Ray.
Yes, and Connolly, good centre play there. £250,000, and of Fire, beautiful motion, in full stretch. No chance for Critchley. A try. Not the easiest of kicks for the youngster, Farrell. But he's certainly big enough and strong enough to put these over from the touchline with the left foot. Now, just underneath that crossbar. So, Wigan leading by 12 points to 6, just into injury time now. But a huge effort from Salford, and it was this kick really to the wrong man, to Robinson, wasn't it?
If you're going to kick to him, you know, you've got to make sure you see the big hole there, and he runs straight to it. And then he looks on the outside. Now, I think Gary Connolly possibly could have scored himself here, Ray, and you'll see that he chose to give it to a quicker man outside to make sure of it.
Dennis Betts. Bats. Good tackle. Very good strong tackle there by Young on his opposite number, Kelvin Skerritt. Sampanapa electing again to kick, but Johnny Jack is up to the situation. Looks for support, and he finds it in Critchley, and Phil Ford. Good play between the two wings there. Andy Gregory looking to put Critchley through the gap. He does so this time. Critchley lurking out there on the left. The right wing man took Wigan by surprise. Salford fighting back here. Gregory. The crowd screaming about a high tackle there from Andy Platt, but Mr. Smith saying that it was only chest high. Blakely. Back to O'Connor. Shrugs off one tackler. Salford very adept at keeping this ball going. Still going. Burkitt. Gregory. Peter Williams, but he's isolated here. Critchley, of course, has gone off to the other wing. Gregory. Poor Chris Tauro losing the ball there, and the momentum for the home side stops. Andrew Farrell. Good battle here between Gary Connolly and Peter Williams. Fire. Built for an excellent opening 40 minutes, and I think, Steve, we can see from that position figure and territorial advantage what an even game it's been, despite the 6-point difference.
It has been, and you'll find that the first half there, Salford kept attacking Wigan's right-hand side, where Barry John Mathers defending, with Paul Forber, who naturally likes to run on his left-hand side, and putting the little grubber kicks behind Martin of Fire on the other side.
And Dermot So bringing these big Wigan forwards on as ever. Wigan, of course, in the customary position at the top of Division 1. And Salford in 12th position. But certainly not looking like a 12th position side here this afternoon, giving Wigan a really good go. Phil Clark checking the ball quite a lot at first or second receiver, trying to punch a hole in the midfield there. Good tackle there by substitute Bob Marsden, who's come on for Chris Tauro on the Salford side. Oh, and Phil Ford, the elusive Welshman. He's got the length of the field to run, but he might have done it 10 years ago, but not now. Well tackled by Barry John Mather, but sets up the attack for Salford's Andy Burgess. O'Connor. Andy Gregory settling into that distributing role, but well, he won't fancy running into Andy Platt so often, and he's still as chirpy as ever, having a word with referee Russell Smith about the tackle. Mr. Smith shouting to Farrell to let O'Connor up there. And Mark Lee once again putting the kick behind Martin Offiah. We've seen that time and time again in this game, Steve.
That's what they were doing, Ray, putting the little grubber kicks behind Martin there. But you notice that 3 plays before, for 3 plays, Paul Forber was out this left-hand side screaming for the ball. There was hardly any defenders here, but they chose to go the other way.
One of the problems as well is that the ground beginning to harden now as the temperature drops, and that ball really bouncing about.
And the news from the Wigan bench is that they've had to make some readjustments to the team. Andy Farrell has gone to stand-off. He's a big man for stand-off. That's because Sam Panaper, who you saw injured in the first half, he's injured the joint of his left shoulder. It's frozen, and the doctor says that there's no movement in it at all. He can't tell yet the extent of the damage, but doesn't expect Panaper to take any further part in this game.
Sean Edwards running a little sideways across field. Barry John Mather, very athletic lad, a decathlete when he was at school. Back to Joe Lydon. Lydon having the time to pick his spot. Decides to put it down to the corner to Gary Jack. And Jack, he can stay there until Lydon runs everyone onside. Now when he runs, the Wigan defenders can move into that area. Burkitt. And Sam Panaper may be injured but looks quite happy. Andy Gregory, good pass again to Paul Forber, launching him on the burst. Didn't quite make the break but put the pressure on Wigan. Connor. Oh, and an equally good short pass gets Bob Marsden on the charge. Good distribution with these forwards. David Young. Back to Gregory. Looking to put that kick into touch. Critchley stolen up quite quickly there. That's good cover from the hooker Martin Dermott. Gary Connolly. Not seen too much of on attack so far, but certainly up to everything in defence. Jason Robinson likes to move in midfield. Dermott to Platt. Andy Platt getting through a lot of work, Steve, up front here.
He's had a big game. All the big men have had big games so far. Skerritt, also from Salford, Dave Young and Terry O'Connor. They're getting through plenty of work.
Certainly Sean Edwards knows he's in a game against this Salford side. High on the ball, well taken by Gary Jack. Very safe, very sound, veteran of many test matches, Joe Lydon, and his opposite number, Gary Jack. Martin Burkett did well to hold on to that ball.